Overwatch is an incredible game that focuses a lot on inclusivity of different races, of different genders. So why doesn't Overwatch League go the same way? I'm going to talk in particular of one example today, though there are many.
I've heard quite a number of them.
So we're talking specifically about Geguri. Geguri Se-yeon, she became, if you don't know her name, you're going to know her story, because last year she became the focus of a lot of ire because people believed that she, a very, very skilled Zarya player, was cheating, was using aimbots or something. And she used a specific stream in which the camera was on her and on her keyboard to show, no, she wasn't cheating. She was really just that good.
Yeah.
And she was actually a player in the now defunct Apex League in Korea. But now we have the Overwatch League, and it's very professional, it's very polished, it has the support of Blizzard themselves.
Yep.
And what we found during their, I guess, press day was there were interviews with all of the teams, and one person's name was hanging in the air, though she wasn't there and she wasn't drafted, and of course it was Geguri. And so there were many reasons why people gave for not drafting her on their team. And I'm gonna give you some direct quotes, and you can tell me if you see a pattern. So one we have from Houston Outlaws DPS player Jake Lyon. People would always be doubting, always be judging, so it has to be the right person, the right player, and those things have to come together at the right moment, which makes it especially hard for women in the scene right now. And his coach, Matt Rodriguez, had to say, general manager, there is absolutely no reason that she couldn't do it. I think she knows that. I know she had a lot of trouble. I've read a lot of articles about her having hard times, and that sucks, and that's a hurdle. You have to get through all the shit and negativity you're gonna read on Reddit or Inven or whatever.
So really, we're protecting the young lady from having to suffer.
Well, we have one more. So many of them, I don't have direct quotes, but this is a sentiment that was said, was, well, there's a language barrier. She speaks Korean and we speak something else, English, whatever. So they went to the New York Excelsior, a team which is exclusively Korean players, to see what dissuaded them, because Houston couldn't take her because they don't all speak Korean. So they went to Scott Tester, who played a large role in assembling NYXL's roster, who said, Geguri is a talented player. She plays off tank, which I think is a really important role to have chemistry with the rest of your team. We were trying to find someone who already meshed well with their team. So I don't think it was really about her specific level of skill. She's a really talented player. That's nice, but then they ultimately ended up using a bunch of different pieces of already established teams who different teams altogether who not necessarily filled that role. So what it sounds like here, as you were saying,
yeah, they're trying to protect her from herself, and she's gonna have to suffer all this stuff. Then there was a thing about not wanting to get separate housing for a woman, which, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, but look,
these are excuses that we've heard before in the 60s of why women shouldn't be in the workplace, or why women shouldn't be in the army.
I heard this when I started reporting because I was the only woman covering geek at the time. So people were saying, oh, I don't know if we should hire her because we'd have to get like separate hotel rooms, and what if she was subjected to bad language? Seriously, you should hear me talk. Don't talk to me about bad language. But I heard all this exact stuff when I started. I heard it for the first 5 years I did this. Now nobody wants to bother with trying to say that because I write about this for a living. But it's really frustrating and really irritating. And I'm furious about this because what's going to happen is they'll end up doing just a girls team. But this isn't like a physical sport. This is a sport where you're playing online and it doesn't matter. And you're going to relegate.
It's more about your dexterity and your brain power.
Yep, and so you're going to have something that's separate and in the corner as opposed to the real team. I've watched it happen in my industry. I've watched it happen in other industries, and it's really frustrating. Sorry, what's
really
angry.
upsetting is there are legitimate reasons not to include her, and they weren't said. They just use these classic standbys of, oh, a girl would complicate things. I want to protect the girl. You could say Zarya's not in the meta and she hasn't been for a while. That is legitimate. You could say she's a rookie and we want more experienced players. Sure, but these excuses are just time I don't want to say honored, but they've been used again and again, and they're collectively a bunch of BS.
Yep.
Don't protect women from themselves. Say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Basically, the message I got from this is one day women will be included, but today isn't the time, and it's really hard right now. It's so hard. I wish somebody would stand up and do it, but who has the power to do it? Not us, the people who are choosing teams. It's ridiculous. It's completely abdicating responsibility. It's making up excuses. Use a real reason. Don't give us this shoveled BS that we've heard again and again and again. She's a good player. Maybe she's not right for certain reasons, but to say you're protecting her or you don't know what to do with a girl around, or oh, girls are so complicated and they have cooties.
We do have cooties, so that's true. We do have cooties.
Guess what, everyone? There's a cootie shot and it's been available for years.
Wait, look. Cootie shot.
But it's just this rationale is silly.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be used anymore, especially if you're Overwatch, especially if you're Blizzard. Audience, what do you think? I know some of you won't agree with me, but you're free to do so. Please do that below, and please like and subscribe for more.